how to play off spin. Before we look into any of the scoring options against playing off spin, let's reel this back into your setup against off spin. I do believe setting up against any sort of bowler is really important. Talking about the setup, if you've got a quicker bowler, right-handed bowling outies, obviously you'd like to set up on off stump and then staying real side on, which then negates the chance of you schnicking off. If you've got a left armer swinging back in, you standing on off stump, staying side on would be, you'd be asking for trouble, you'd be asking to get hit in the pads. So in order to change that, you'd open up your stance a little bit in order to negate that in swing. So there's all sorts of different sort of setups you can choose in order to benefit your game. Again, if you've got a really tall bowler, getting a lot of bounce, you standing outside your stumps would be asking to get like bounced out in a way. And then if you've got a guy that's skidding on and you staying real deep in your crease, same thing, you're asking to get trapped in front. So there's different methods and different in a way variables you can implement to your game in order to combat any sort of challenges that occur during gameplay. So in today's video, we'll be going through 3 fundamentals of your setup against playing off spin. Let's talk about fundamental number 1, which is going to be your stance. Right here, you could see this little fainted line. This is my off stump guard. When you come out and play an off spinner as a right-handed batsman, you need to understand the ball is going to bounce and spin into you. So if the direction's coming into you, the ball's direction, having a wider base and staying on off stump should be your number 1 factor when you come out and play spin. Why that's the case? If the ball is turning sharp, correct, a lot of spin, your chances of getting LBW have been negated when you're on off stump. If you're here, say if I'm batting on leg stump, I go on to play the forward defense against the ball spinning in, I'm in line with the wickets. When I'm in line with the wickets, there's more chance of getting an LBW. If I'm here, on off stump, and balls are, usually when it's spinning square, they're gonna try and bowl really wider of the crease and pitch it towards 6, 7 stump and spin it back in. That way, you know that your LBW, mode of dismissal, has been eliminated. So you're not going to get an LBW. Bowled would be very rare as well. So bowled and LBW have been eliminated. Your only mode of dismissal then would be obviously getting inside edge, getting caught there. But that's besides the point right now. Point is negating that spin and finding a way to not get LBW and getting bowled. So that's fundamental number 1. Let's look at fundamental number 2 when you play spin, off spin. In this case, having a wide base against spin. Why have a wide base against spin? This creates your center of gravity, it lowers it. So if you're nice and tall, you're watching the ball from a higher sort of perspective. So when you're wider, your perspective lowers down. One really important thing about playing spin and having a high base and staying nice and low is that it allows you to pick length really well. When you're here, so let's just say you're nice and low, your head position is being almost in a way parallel, in line to the release point of the bowler. That way, that allows you to judge and pick length really quickly. If it's tossed up, you can come down the wicket, hit it. If it's flatter, you can go back and defend it. Or if it's short, you can go back and play your shot, knowing that you don't have to move as much because you've got that base. Power comes with base. When you need power in your shots, you need a proper base. You can't have power with no base in your shots. Like, you can't get any sort of power into your game. So number 2 fundamental would be having a big base and staying nice and low when you come out and play your shots. Like that. There. And if we talk about the 3rd fundamental about playing off spin, is adjusting where your hands would be. Here in Australia, there's a lot of bounce in the wickets, quite spin and bounce. When that happens, keeping your hands nice and high negates that chance of you getting that inside edge straight to bat pad. So if your hands are high, right here, you can adjust them to the bounce. And then if you're playing somewhere in the subcontinent where the wickets aren't as bouncy and as quick as they are here in Australia, you'd have your hands nice and low. That way that negates the chances of you getting balls that don't spin or don't bounce as much, you getting trapped in front. So you can adjust according to conditions based on how high and how low your hands would be. So very straightforward, easy fundamentals I've figured I might as well talk about when they come into playing off spin. This video would be very straightforward, easy going, just give you some fundamentals to work on. Again, if this helps you in any sort of way, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Also, further down the line, we're going to be talking about scoring options against spin. That'll be another video where I can show you different sort of drills in order to use all of these fundamentals into practice. So yeah, short video. I will see you in the next one.